Okay, so I'm doing this video because number one, men can be so fucking gross sometimes. And so I'm doing a story time today, and this video is just basically about how I borderline feel like I was sexually assaulted at work today. And I mean, not to take away from victims, I don't even know why I'm about to downplay my experience, because that's really what women do when they feel uncomfortable. They try to not make it seem as big as what it is. But I'm just going to tell you my experience, because I said that I was going to talk more about the things that have been going on in my life. But to get straight to the point, so I was at work today. If you're not familiar with me, my name is Keshante Chantel. I am a makeup artist in real life, not just on YouTube. And I work in the makeup artist field. I work in a department store, and yeah. So I was at work today, and this guy stopped me and he asked me, he was just like, his whole approach wasn't bad, and he wasn't a bad looking guy. When I first looked at him, I did not think that there would be like anything crazy that would happen later on. He just didn't give that vibe. So he stopped and he asked me, he was like, oh my gosh, what shampoo do you use? And you know, that's just a random ass question that a guy would ask a girl. So I was just like, say again? He was like, what shampoo do you use? So I was like, well, on my natural hair, I use this. I said, but right now I'm wearing a wig. Like, if somebody asked me, I don't lie. The wig look good. It's given. But he was just like, no, I'm just kidding. You know, I just wanted to speak to you or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay. He was like, do you have a man? And I was like, yes. Even though I don't have a boyfriend, I still like, I'm not on the market. I'm not looking for anything. I'm emotionally unavailable right now. So like, I'm going to automatically say yes. And then he proceeds, he was like, oh, well, are you married? And I'm like, no, I'm not married. He was just like, oh, well, if you don't mind, did you want to be on my podcast? And I was like, well, what is your podcast about? He was like, oh, it's just about, you know, love, relationships. I'm a fitness coach. And so I'm just trying to get like some enlightening or enlightenment from women, just their opinions about like why relationships just aren't progressing and things like that. So I was just like, you know, I can give my opinion right now, but I'm on the clock, so it ain't gonna be right now. He was like, oh, well, can I get your number? And so, not thinking anything like this is a business transaction, nothing crazy. Like, actually, I'm a YouTuber, so when I meet other creatives, whether it's podcasts, TikTok, Instagram, any of that, like, I get excited about that, because in Columbia, South Carolina, you don't run into that too often. So of course I give him my number, but it was for the purpose of being on his podcast. Now, so that you guys know that I ain't lying, I was just like, you know, I would do this when I went on break. So he hit me up. I'm gonna blur out his number because, you know, even though I'm telling my story, I'm not about exposing like people's livelihood and phone numbers and things like that on the internet. So you'll just be able to see like the message. So the dude's name, you know, was Ace or whatever. And he was just like, he hit me back and he was like, where are you located? Just basically asking me where I'm at, if I went to lunch yet. So he was like, I'm at JCPenney. I can meet you there. And I said, I'm still at my current job. I haven't clocked out yet. If you want to swing this way for the interview real quick, that's fine by me. And then he texts back, cool, see you soon. So okay, so at the end of the text message, you guys can basically see there is an extra text. I spoke with one of my coworkers today, and she basically asked me, why didn't I get the video? And I was like, you know what? Bet, good idea. I'm going to ask him for the video. So I did text him and asked him, hey, do you have the video? He stated no, he deleted it. Do I believe him? No, I don't believe him. But at the end of the day, I didn't catch the podcast name because I wasn't going to listen to his podcast anyway. But I just wanted to see, like, you know, kind of what he did with the video. He said that he deleted it. It is what it is. So again, this was straight business. This was nothing of, oh, well, take me out to lunch. None of that. It gave none of that. So he came back and I was just like, okay, so what are we doing? Like, what are the questions? Blah, blah, blah. He was like, if you don't mind, can I just prop my phone up? I'm going to ask you some questions. I'm going to record that. If you don't mind, if you could sit in a chair to look a little bit more, I guess, professional or presentable or blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool. Like, I'm sitting in a chair. He's sitting behind the phone asking me questions. And the whole time, like, I'm keeping it cute. He's asking me, so why don't you think that, like, you know, people value marriage, blah, blah, blah. And I'm just like, you know, they don't put God in marriage and blah. Like, everything that I said was professional and it led back to God. Like, not everybody is spiritual, and that's fine. But I know when you put God as your head of household, a lot of things will work better. So every question that he had to ask me, like, what advice would I give to people about whatever? And I was just like, just pray. Like, if you're going through something, the best thing to do is pray, because at the end of the day, God can move mountains. Like, all of my questions, all my answers were so professional. And then the questions that he was asking was professional too. So I was just like, you know, it wasn't a bad interview. He said it would be no more than 5 minutes. So then it kind of started going over 5 minutes. And then he asked me a question, and hindsight, I'm not like thinking this shit is about to go left. So he asked me, he was just like, okay, I'm gonna do an experiment with you. I want you to hold up your hands. And he was like, I want you to count to 5, but I want you to do like this. So I was like, okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Boom. He was like, all right, now I want you to keep your hands raised, and then I want you to do it in your head. So I'm like, not thinking, not processing, like, this man might be using this video for other things. Like, not even on that level. Like, I don't know what the hell I was thinking. So then he asked me, he was like, all right, so if you don't mind, I want to do the same thing with, he said, can I get you to take your shoes off? And I was like, no, I want to take my shoes off. And he was like, no, you're going to do the same exact thing that you did. This is just another experiment. So, like, I'm just kind of like, it seemed innocent. It didn't, like, whole time I'm not even thinking that this man has a foot fetish. Like, shit didn't cross my mind. So I took my shoe off because he was just like, it's gonna be real quick, blah, blah, blah. And I just was like, it's kind of getting a little weird. So then he was just like, all right. So he grabs his phone and then he, like, takes a picture of my feet. And I was just like, whoa, my feet. I said, my feet are ashy right now. He was like, no, ma, you good. Your feet, they're beautiful. So, like, I'm looking at him, and this time, like, I'm in the chair and I got my arms crossed because I'm like, what is he doing? Because if he steps a little bit to the left, I'm gonna move his ass to the right. Like, it was weird, but it wasn't, like, uncomfortable at first to where I was just like, okay, we need to stop this. I need to start asking more questions. I just was focusing on, like, where is this going? So then he was like, all right, in your head, I want you to count. No, first he was like, I want you to wiggle your feet and do it 5 times. And I was just like, okay. And then he was like, all right, I want you to do the same thing, count it in your head. And I'm like, okay. And then he goes into, this is what made it super weird. He goes into, okay, so, like, when's the last time that you've ever had a deep tissue massage? And I was just like, I don't know. He was like, see, I could tell because, you know, I'm a personal trainer and I could see it in your posture. He was like, you know, you are a well put together woman, but I could tell that you haven't had a massage in a long time. And so then he grabbed my foot and he just started doing like this and caressing it. So then, of course, naturally, I snatched my foot from him because I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, what are you doing? And so he was like, what do you use for your skin? And I was just like, I cleanse, tone, and moisturize. Like, I'm in skincare. You're over here. There's skincare, makeup. Like, that's what I use. He was like, no. For your, he was like, look at your hands, and, you know, your skin is just glowy and it's just soft. And I was like, well, I use Dove moisturizing body wash. Nothing different than anybody else would use. And so finally, I just was kind of like, we need to wrap this shit up, because, like, this has gone on too long. This has went from podcast to, you are probably going to put this video on OnlyFans, or Lord knows what you're gonna do with this video, but I am making this video for my YouTube channel in case I ever get famous and that video gets chopped, screwed, and edited or anything. Have me looking crazy like I'm out here, I don't know. But that was just a whole weird experience, because it went from, in my brain, being very innocent, I am answering these questions for your podcast because it was like on relationship and health, to now you trying to give me a damn foot massage. And then you taking videos and stuff of my feet, and I don't know. I want to be more upset about it. I'm more aggravated because I'm just like, on my end, I didn't do anything wrong. On my end, I was answering these questions. I was talking about God, and I felt, and I feel, not felt, I feel taken advantage of. And that's not a fair place to be in. Like, men can just turn anything that's innocent into something extremely fucking weird. And next time, I think the problem with me that I run into is when I'm uncomfortable, I try not to make the person that's making me uncomfortable. And that's not fair. And I blame myself in no way, shape, or form. Like, do I not take accountability, because I should have been a little bit more aware in that situation. But like, honestly, I didn't think otherwise. I didn't think otherwise until like it got uncomfortable. And so I guess now I'm just gonna be a little bit more cautious about who I let in my space, because shit like that can just get really, really weird and really, really awkward. And I would hate to see like other women be in these situations and they get downplayed, because men make women uncomfortable all the damn time. There was not a time in any of the interview, podcasts, or anything that I was being sexual or like gave this man any type of energy that I lusted after him or wanted to be after him. So I don't know in his mind what made him think that it would be okay to start like caressing and trying to massage my damn feet during the interview. Like, yeah, I don't know. But a lot of weird shit has been happening lately. And I just wanted to like come on here and share my experience, because girl, I don't know. But again, like, if in the event that I get, who knows, I may be like the next, not Beyonce, because girl, I ain't got that much drive. But I don't know, might become an actress or something one day, and that video might surface. I just want the people to know that your girl was 100% innocent in that situation. I was not doing none of this to be sexual. I was just taken advantage of. So thank you so much for coming to my TED Talk, so I can tell you guys how I got SA'd, scammed, taken advantage of, trying to be nice and be on somebody's podcast and lend my voice. So yeah, guys, if you have not, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join my beautiful online family. I will see you guys in my next video. I told you I was going to be doing story times. My life has just been crazy, and trust me, I have more stories to tell. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Have the most amazing day.